Hi, everyone. Welcome back. You're still with us here on the C Morning Show. We're now into the final hour of our show and right about ready to head into our second discussion of this morning, Karina. We're going to talk about something I love, car racing.
Exactly, Paul. Because Indonesia is actually set to host the 2024 Radical Indonesia Series at Mandalika Circuit.
Perfect place for it. And as the first radical car racing championship here in Indonesia, this is still considered quite a new innovation in the world of car racing. And unlike other sports car, the Radical Indonesia Series is a track-specific racing car with an open cockpit design, much like a Formula One car as well. Now, without any further ado, let's find out more about the event, the vehicles that take part in it, because joining us here in the studio this morning is the Creative Director of Radical Indonesia, Mas Denda Hendro Jati, as well as professional racer and the coach of Radical Racing School, Yasuo Senna Iriawan. And we'll be connected online with a representative, the President Director of Mandalika Grand Prix Association real soon. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for being here this morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Okay, so we're familiar with car racing, but tell us, what is the Radical Indonesia Series?
Yep.
Okay, I will explain the background first.
Yes.
We started our activation in 2023 in cooperation with MGPA at Mandalika International Circuit. And we started to create several programs like driving experience, passenger ride, radical time attack, and Radical Academy, and then Radical Racing School, which is my friend Senna Iriawan as a coach of Radical Racing School. He is a professional racer anyway. And I'm glad that all these programs is running properly and running well until now. Then we think that we actually have a tagline. The tagline is "We make racers."
Okay.
Okay. And we are running. Our activation is running a racing car. It feels strange if we don't have racing event. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
And so we have to create racing event this year. So we decide to create a racing event for this year, namely the Radical Indonesia Series. Okay.
So this basically began more as a racing school to teach people how to race cars, and then you developed an event, a racing event out of it.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And because of that, we start to open discussion with Mr. Priyandi Satria as CEO of MGPA. And finally, we decided to create held on Radical Indonesia Series at the same time with Mandalika Racing Series, or MRS, because MRS is a big opportunity and have a lot of people in there. So I think it's a momentum for us to create this the first radical racing event in Indonesia.
Especially now that we have such a great facility like Mandalika to do it in as well. Now, I want to talk to...
I want to go to Senna a little bit.
By the way, if your parents name you Senna, you have to be a race car driver when you grow up.
Exactly. It's manifesting since birth. Senna, what inspired you to get into this and to be a racer and now a coach?
I think in the beginning, it started by my family. I guess because my grandfather is the first Indonesian racing driver.
Wow.
And my dad is a racing driver, and I'm the third generation of the racing family.
Okay. That's where the name came from.
Of course.
Yes. I mean, everyone is a big fan of Senna, the Brazilian, but yeah, I've been in the sport for over 20 years now.
Wow.
I started at the age of 8.
Was it karting?
Yeah, I was karting.
Okay.
I was doing quite about 8 to 10 years in karting, and then I jumped to the Formula cars. Okay. After Formula cars, I jumped into touring cars.
Wow.
And then I'm here trying to develop more the sport. And yeah, who knows? I mean, right now the prototype is here in Indonesia. I think this would be the pioneer for us, for Indonesian drivers too, to experience a whole new racing championship that has never been heard before.
Right.
I mean, the Radical itself, it's very popular in the Europe, in Australia, but again, here in Asia, maybe it's something new.
Right.
It still is, especially with the car itself. I mean, if you want to look on the, I was sifting through radicalmotorsport.idn on Instagram. If you want to have a look, they showcase many of the vehicles. Senna himself is on there as well. They talk about some of the events. But let's talk a little bit about the car itself. What differs this particular vehicle as opposed to cars that we're more familiar with, such as the Formula One car or even the Formula E cars as well that we've been
I mean, again, the size comparison is a lot of difference.
Okay.
The wing itself, maybe the engine specification is different. The way to drive every race car is a different thing.
Okay.
I mean, you're controlling a beast somehow.
Sure.
And with this Radical car, you can similarize it maybe to Formula cars, where
Yes.
it's very light and the wing works. All the suspension works pretty well. I mean, the difference between Formula cars and normal cars are that this type of vehicle can enter a corner at a very high amount of speed compared to different racing cars. I mean,
Right.
different racing car, maybe you approach a corner maybe 60 to 70
Yes.
kilometer per hour, but this one you can approach 180.
Whoa.
How is that? Why does it handle so much better around the corners?
Because
The design?
one is the design, the aerodynamic system,
Okay.
and as well the tires are all fully slick.
Oh,
And
okay.
also, it's a Formula car.
And is it, I mean, I'm looking at images as well. Obviously, there's one driver, but it's a two-seater.
Yeah.
Is that right? How does
I
that
mean,
work?
for the race,
it is.
For the race, there are some races abroad where it is actually built as a two-seater car.
Why is
but you
that?
can sit in the middle.
Oh, I
can
see.
do
Because
that
I'm looking at pictures where the drivers are in the middle.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, for why they make two-seat, I think again, it's marketing. You know,
Yes.
so people can experience
Right.
passenger ride. I mean, I think, especially in Indonesia right now, I think aside from people wanting to know what is racing all about, but they also want to feel how does it feel to be a
Of course.
passenger in a racing
Right.
car.
And I think if you do something like, if you go to racing school, I think it's important experience for you to be in the car as well first before you actually get behind
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
the wheel.
I mean, how often do you normally drive with a passenger next to you?
I mean, never. Never before this with Radical.
Yeah.
I mean, with Radical Indonesia, I drive, I think, with passenger for over maybe 8 passengers now.
Okay.
Okay.
I've also become a passenger for other people.
What was the?
That's a lot of pressure by your side.
What was the difference in the feeling of being a passenger and actually driving the
Oh.
car? I want to know how it feels without being
in control?
yeah.
I mean, again, somehow, for you to drive the car is a lot better than being a passenger.
Yeah.
Because
I can
you're
imagine.
scared. I'm scared, actually. But yeah, I mean, as a professional, you know, you need to look tough. But yeah, I'm trying my best to make sure that everyone have a safe driving procedure. I mean,
Yeah.
the car is okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I want the customer to feel happy and to be
course.
safe.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Because
safety is
racing
number one.
is not something that is unquote unquote 100% safe. I mean, it's a dangerous motorsport.
It is, yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm here to help guide them
Right.
to drive correctly and to give safety induction before and after a race or after training.
Is there a speed limit
Yeah.
for this?
Yeah, what is the top speed that you guys usually reach at the
So
straightaways?
for the SR1, my top speed is 220
Wow.
straight. The SR3, the top speed is 245 in straight.
Oh wow.
Okay.
But there are certain corners in Mandalika where it's actually a very high speed corner.
Right.
I think it was 195.
Unbelievable.
approaching
For a
corner.
Taking
turn.
a corner at that speed. I've never gone that fast in my life unless on an airplane. So back to Mas Denda. Speaking of, back to the actual series itself, what drivers are taking part in this series race? What are the special requirements?
Actually, yeah, there's no special requirement.
Okay.
There is if you want to join this race, you must just use the Radical car.
Okay.
And we have 3 different types of
Right.
car. And if you don't have the car, you can use our car, and you can we provide the radical experience package.
Okay. So then I assume then is there a certain amount of training that has to be done first before you take?
Yes.
What is that like?
Yes. If you want to join this race, you can join the racing school first. Yeah, which is Senna will be trained.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow! And how?
You can qualify for this. Interested?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to be very
everyone can join.
patient when you're
Yeah.
coaching. How many coaches are there with the riding? Just one. Oh, just you.
Just you.
One, yeah.
So what has it been like so far? Who usually takes part in your racing school? Who is it that usually shows interest in learning something like this?
Mainly enthusiasts.
Okay, car enthusiasts.
Car
For
enthusiast.
sure.
Really?
For sure.
I mean, they want to know. I mean, although racing is very segmented, it's very niche market, but a lot of people want to feel the excitement, you know? So I can't really say who will be interested in racing.
Sure.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, everyone will be interested in racing.
Yeah.
It's not gender specified, so
Yeah.
it's female, it can be male. I mean,
So now, if we talk about the race that's going to take place, you mentioned it's going to take place at Mandalika. We know that MotoGP is held there, will be held there again very soon for the Indonesia Circuit. So is there any special modifications that need to be made for this particular series? Or are you going to use the track as is? What is it going to be like?
regarding the track, I think we will use it track as if.
Okay.
So we don't change anything, but I think for Radical Indonesian Series, I mean, the only thing is maybe we need to set up weight limitation, because
Okay.
every race you have a guideline, you have homologation where a driver and a car should be, for example, like a Radical car with the driver
Yes.
needs to be, the minimum weight is, for example, 660 kilograms.
Wait, it's a minimum, not a maximum weight.
No,
why
it's
why is that?
minimum.
For
You
safety?
don't have maximum.
So you don't
Because
fly.
maximum is like overweight.
Okay, it will slow you down.
Yeah, slow you down. So you
Okay.
have minimum. But if you go below the minimum chart,
Right.
it's qualified.
Okay.
So that happens in every race.
Right.
Right.
So you have to eat a lot before, if you're underweight, the night before, you have to carb
Because
load.
you lose a lot of weight too.
Right.
Driving a
Well,
car.
You need to stabilize the
Yeah.
car.
How many laps is it going to be?
It's going to be 20 minutes. isn't it?
20 minutes.
Oh, it's time.
wow.
It's,
Yes.
going to be time. Okay, wow.
Around 20 and 30 minutes.
Okay. How many times have you taken the, so you've obviously taken the Radical car on the Mandalika Circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's that like? Tell me your experience.
Whoa. I mean, me myself, when I drove the Radical, that was the first time I drove in Mandalika track.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Ever.
it's a new experience ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but compared me, when I entered the track, it's a very different environment. I mean, it's a very nice track. I mean, you can see a lot of things. You can see the beach, you can
Right.
see mountains and everything. I mean, it's a tricky track with a great view, with a great environment, with a great asphalt.
Okay.
Everything's just beautiful. But yeah, I mean, first time driving the Radical there, I mean, there is a lot of bits as a racing driver that you can improve on.
Sure.
So there, that's one part of it.
I think from the very first MotoGP that was held there, the motorcycle race, there have been improvements, vast improvements made since then as well, from feedback from the riders as well. So you can actually imagine now it's probably at its best
a lot better,
condition
yeah.
right now.
And what a great place to also train, I guess, practice.
Yeah. But don't get distracted by the view.
I was just
You need
going to
focus
say, I
on the
think if
track.
I were to drive there, I would be very much distracted.
So, Denda, what are your hopes? I mean, this is the first time that
Yeah.
Radical Indonesia Series will be held here. What are your hopes for having this this event?
Okay, I hope everyone will know more about Radical Indonesia
Indeed.
for sure, and I hope with Radical Indonesia Series it will be enliven the automotive industry in Indonesia.
Agree.
Amazing.
How about Senna?
Yeah, Senna, what are your hopes?
You've been training a lot of drivers potentially to be taking part in this race.
I mean, I hope this racing series would be a new thing for Indonesia. It would be a new thing for the sport as well, for the tourism as well. I mean, I hope everything went smoothly, professionally, and it's safe for us, the doers, and also the person that races the car. I mean, I hope that I hope racing will be more accessible here in Indonesia.
Me too.
Yeah, it's not as accessible.
Not previously, but I think now it's getting there.
Getting there,
thanks
yeah.
To, I'm sorry if I seem a little bit distracted because I'm
watching
looking.
race videos.
I am watching. I'm looking through.
He's on your
Instagram.
page, guys.
Yeah, and I'm looking at things like this. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta
Yes,
make sure you check it out.
cool.
It's radicalmotorsport.idn, and it's amazing. Like I've never even. I cannot imagine that someone like me could actually train too.
Hey, you never know.
But
Yeah, you guys
Might be a-
must try
Yeah,
sometime.
new skill unlocked.
there's no age limit. I hope.
There's no age limit.
Well, good luck with the event. When is it going to take place? What's the date? October.
It will be held on October
Okay.
19 and to 20 October.
Okay.
Coming up.
So make sure you guys stay tuned to all the latest. You can follow them on Instagram as well for all the latest information if you want to know more. Thank you guys for joining us. Unfortunately, we
Thank
could
you,
not get the president for Mandalika Circuit because he has prior
Conflict
engagements.
of schedules.
Conflict of schedules, but glad to have you both on. Good luck and we hope to
Good
talk
luck
about
with
it.
everything, guys.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right, we're going to take another short break here on the program. We have plenty more updates to come when we return here on the C Morning Show. Stay tuned.